guys, today's video is going to be a pretty long one. It's actually going to be a two-parter, so buckle yourselves up, it's gonna be a doozy. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing all the books that I acquired in the 9-10 month period in which I haven't filmed any YouTube videos. In my opinion, it's a large number of books. For other YouTubers, it might be just like a little, but boy do I have some freaking fantasy series coming for you. So, in the first video, I will... Wow. So, in the first video, I'm going to be discussing mostly, if not only, fantasy and science fiction books, which is very exciting for me because that's basically the only genre that I ever read. I'm ashamed to admit it, but fantasy is my favorite genre of all time. So, let's get into the video. The bookshelf is gonna... So let's get into the video. The bookshelf will be looking a bit empty because I'll be taking the books out to show you. So the first series that I hauled is the Wheel of Time series. This is just the first book in the installment, The Eye of the World, and it's so goddamn pretty. And you can kind of see the rest of them right here in the back. They're very colorful and very pretty, and also huge. They're like huge books, all of them, so I wasn't spared on any of them while reading them. I'm at the moment of filming this video, I'm in the middle of the last book, and I'm actually very sad to be finishing the series because I love it. It's like very dear to my heart at this point, which is weird. I wouldn't have expected to want more books in a 14-book series. It's weird, but you get so attached to the characters and the storyline, and even though I want to find out what happens at the end, I'm not ready to know. So I've been in a kind of a reading slump because of it, but I'll finish it for sure. And I'm really I can't just jump on the couch, sorry. But I'm really excited to see how it ends, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it, and it's gonna be my favorite series forever, I would have to say, because I've been reading it for like a year and a half now. So the commitment you have to give to this series, it's huge, and it'll stay with you for the rest of your life, I guess. So the next book that I hauled is Neil Gaiman's Ocean at the End of the Lane illustrated edition, which is very weird for me because I don't usually spend a lot of money on my editions. I don't buy like hardcovers, only paperbacks, but this was just so pretty. I mean, look at it. And inside there's like a bunch of like drawings of the things that are happening in the book, obviously, and it's so beautiful. This is one of my favorite books that I've ever read, and the first Neil Gaiman that I've read, so it was a banger from the start. So if you don't know what this book is about, it's basically about this little boy, and you never get to know his name, which I find very cool. And he comes from a very broken up family, and he witnesses this tragic car accident. And after that, he meets a little witch called Letty Hemstock, and from then on, their adventure begins. And it's so heartwarming and just a lovely little story. Very short, actually. This is because it's illustrated. It has like 200 pages, but it's, I think, only 100 pages long. So it's a very easy read. And it's one of my all-time favorites and my favorite Neil Gaiman story. And I highly recommend it that you give it a go because it's so good. I love it. I'm so happy that I own this edition. It's the blue, the white with it. It just goes so well. I love it. One of my favorite books that I own, actually. Yay. So the next book that I hauled, and it's not a surprise. I mean, it's another Neil Gaiman. I mean, you had it coming. And it's Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. And I find this story so quirky and whimsical, and it's magical, basically. And the thing that I enjoyed the most after buying this book and reading it was the fact that I saw that both Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett said that every time a person came up to them for them to sign and autograph the book, the Good Omens book, it was always so bruised and battered, and the pages were ripped, or it was like just the pages in a Ziploc bag, which I find kind of weird. I was like, yeah, my copy is not gonna go through that, it's gonna stay intact. But actually, I broke it like a bunch of times. I never did that. Like, I have my books in perfect condition, but this one is just so broken. Like, I ripped it. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's the book's fault. Like, I'm not gonna blame myself for it. If it happens to everyone, it had to happen to me. And I'm actually, like, I have it closer to my heart because of that, because it's such a cute, like, story to tell about it. I don't know. And also, obviously, the book is very, very good. If you love Neil Gaiman or Terry Pratchett, you're gonna really enjoy this magical realism story about the end of the world and one demon and one angel trying to, like, work together to stop it. It's very funny also. So give it a go if you have the chance. It's a 5-star read for me. Yay! Okay, so the next book I hauled was quite unexpected because I didn't think I would... My cats are going insane in this video. They're jumping all around, so excuse me for the shakiness. But the book that I'm going to be talking about is Cersei by Madeline Miller. And I know I just told you guys that I don't buy hardcovers, but this is a hardcover, but it was on sale, so it doesn't count. It really doesn't count. And if you've watched any of my other few episodes that I've posted on YouTube, you'll know that I really like Greek mythology or any type of mythology. And this is Well, my cats are just going berserk. They're insane. I have to, like, wow, she's just going insane at this point. Wow. So, as I was saying, this is a retelling of Cersei's story, and I don't know much about it, but I'm very excited. I saw that everybody loves it, and I really, really enjoy anything about mythology, or even like mythology retellings like Norse mythology. I really enjoy them, and I think I'm going to have a blast with this book. And also, it's so pretty. It's quite annoying sometimes because it's so shiny, and when, like, the sun reflects on the cover, it burns my eyeballs, but, like, in a good way, I guess you could say. But, like, yeah, it's a very beautiful book, and I'm happy to get to it finally after I get out of this insane reading slump that I've been having. So yeah, if you guys read it, tell me all about it, but, like, not with spoilers. If you, like, enjoyed it, yay! Rawr. So, I'm very excited about the book that I'm going to be talking next. I think it's the only science fiction book that I have here, and I've already binge read it. It's so good, and it's Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's like, the book itself, it's so floppy, and I love that, but I just adored the story. I've read The Martian and I've really liked it, but this, in my opinion, is way better. I know that some people say that the characters are very alike, the main characters in both books, but I enjoyed this story way more than The Martian, and it had the moment at the end of it when you cry and you know you've been on a journey with the character, an insane journey, because it's Andy Weir. Obviously it's going to be bonkers, but it's beautiful. I cried my eyes out at the end. It's not a spoiler. I'm pretty, like, emotional, so it could be a happy ending, a sad ending. Take it with a grain of salt, but it's beautiful, and it's kind of short. It's like 400 pages long, but it reads, like, very fast, and you're very intrigued about what is happening and how he's going to, like, resolve all the problems, because obviously there's a lot of problems in all of Andy Weir's characters' lives, but I really enjoyed it. It's, in my opinion, way better than The Martian. Like, it has something that's similar, like character-wise, but not so much that I think that he just like copy-paste the character from The Martian into this book. It's way better. And for the people that read this, I hope you really enjoyed it. And I had a blast with this one. So please read it. So the next series that I bought is The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski. I hope I pronounced it well. So I haven't watched the TV show, I haven't played any of the games, but I kind of know what it's about. It's about this guy that's a witcher and he hunts like demons and witches and mermaids and werewolves and whatnot. And I think it's a very interesting concept, and I think the magic system in this series is pretty like complex and very cool. So I'm very excited to give it a go, especially since I think the first two books are just like a collection of short stories in the universe, and then it starts with The Witcher and like the story itself. And it's very peculiar that he did that, and awesome in a sense. So I think I'm gonna really enjoy this, and even if like I'm not gonna be fully committed by the end of the first few books that are just short stories, I'm just gonna continue the series because it's very like short, so it's like 200 pages each book. Then it starts getting like big chunky books, but I just want to watch the show like so bad, and I have been putting it off because I'm a lazy bug and I haven't read it. So I'm gonna do exactly that. Also, it's in Romanian because the covers are just stunning in Romanian. Like, I mean, come on. It's just too much for my puny heart to handle. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this. It's very high up on my reading list. So give it a go, please. I love it. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about, I was heavily influenced by the movie to buy it and read it before the movie comes out, and obviously it's Dune by Frank Herbert. I always thought that I'm going to watch like the movie first and then see if I want to read the book. Only the book. I'm not gonna continue with the series. I'm not that committed. But it's taken them like so long to put out the movie that I'm just gonna read the book already because I'm too curious to see what happens. And this is one of the only times that I've been so influenced by like a movie trailer because it looks exactly up my alley. Like the prophecies, the chosen one, the things that happen in that trailer is just exactly how I like my fantasy books to be. So I think I'm gonna love it. I hope I'm gonna love it. I know that some people don't necessarily like the way Frank Herbert writes his stories, that it's kind of spoilery in a way, but I love prophecies, and I heard that there's a lot of them, and chosen one that goes on a journey and he's not ready for that journey. You know, your basic fantasy. I love that like so much. So I got this version of it because I just love like the neutral colors that it has on the cover. It's so pretty. I also like the crazy like blue and orange one, but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't want to like spend a lot of money on something I'm not sure that I'm gonna love. So this is the one that I went with, and it's very pretty, very chunky. You know, I love like a very chunky book because I cannot read something like tiny for the life of me. And I hope I'm gonna really enjoy it because it seems like it's very cool. So yeah, if you guys read it, please let me know if it's good or not, I guess. So yeah. So these are half of the books that I've bought in 2020. So catch me in the part 2 so you can see the other 2 amazing series that I got that I'm so excited for. It's very cool. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Rawr.